Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Welcome to another video. And today's topic is going to be called Esau is a menace to society. Now, we got my brother Dawad. My name is Mayan. We're from James, Toronto, and we're bringing you another one. And as always, before we get started, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh,
Hawa, Ba'ashem,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
Bahashem,
Ba'ashem,
Hakwadash.
Hakwada.
Want to say double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, and all the teachers of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the men who's pushing this word day in and day out throughout the four corners of the earth. To you, brothers, I say shalom. To the
Shalom.
aquas out there who's sitting back, paying attention, listening, and learning in silence. To you, sisters, I want to say shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, so today, I know, the people out there, they are probably tired of us outing the wicked, pretty much bringing the wicked to the forefront of his wickedness.
Mhm.
Because best believe that prior to now, a lot of us, even myself, we used to look at Esau as a peaceful man, who as a man who goes around the world and tries to make peace, a
Mhm.
man who, we used to look up to, right? But now that we are actually finding out who the wicked is, and
Mhm.
all avenues, all like everything is pointing the finger at that wicked man, right?
Mhm.
So today, the topic is going to be called Esau is a menace to society. And we have two videos we want to play, a little bit long, but we're going to try to make it short,
Mhm.
right? Now, here's the first video by this, what appears to be an Edomite lady,
Mhm.
letting about her peoples.
What breaks my soul about what happened in Nolan Wells is that we don't teach our white children how to stand up for what's right.
In Nolan Xavier Wells' case, he was a black teenager out with all white friends.
People have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. If you're gonna be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Obviously, we realize that these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you.
If you don't have a moral soul or a heart for somebody that don't look like you, then you're not my friend.
We don't teach our children accountability, because if it's one thing that we really, really, really can't tolerate within white culture, that's accountability.
Or we, as white parents, talking to our white children about how they are to show up for their black friends.
And that has to change with us white mothers.
I had a conversation with our white son, and we also have to have conversations with our black children about potentially not trusting people who look like their parents.
She said, not trusting people who look like her parents.
Mhm.
If she's warning her kids not to trust people who look like her and their father,
Mhm.
what should we do? Shouldn't we warn our kids, not to trust those people? In fact, from a biblical aspect, the scriptures tell us in Ecclesiasticus 12 and verse, I think it's verse 10, never
10.
trust anyone.
Yeah, I believe it's 10.
Verse 10. I could grab it. I have it here on deck, I think. Yeah. It says Ecclesiasticus 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So the Bible is specifically telling us not to trust our enemies, right? Now, prior to now, we didn't know that this so-called, Edomite, the white man is our enemy. We didn't know this, right?
Mhm.
But here we are. We have some Edomite ladies here specifically telling us that we should not trust people who look like her,
Con.
right? Now, if you go deeper into the scriptures actually break it down who your enemies are. If you can grab Psalms 83 and verse, I think it's 6,
Mhm.
you go to Psalms 83, it specifically tells you who your enemies are as an Israelite, right?
Mhm.
And these enemies are also enemies to Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai.
Con.
Now,
Um, I think we should preface that conversation by saying first and foremost that just because you are of a lighter hue or you lack pigmentation, it does not necessarily make you an Edomite. Um, White is actually a social, white and black are social constructs that were written into legislation in 1681, Maryland, Virginia, giving so-called people of a lighter hue privilege over their so-called darker counterparts. But where you're born, your physical attributes, your phenotype does not determine your nationality. Your nationality is determined by your father. So these women making these statements could very well be Jake. We don't know, right? But for the purpose of being thrusted into society and whatnot, they are deemed and classified white people because of their lack of pigmentation. So I just wanted to bring that out, right? Because a lot of these times when you see instances and you see videos like this, you got to think to yourself, you know what, she might be a Jake, which is why she's speaking, why she's in that spirit, and why she sees what she does concerning her so-called own people, right?
Yeah, also that, the scriptures specifically says that in the last days, the Most High will pour out his spirit upon all flesh, right? And the spirit of Yahweh Shemashah could be speaking to her, I'm saying, to give us warning in these times, to, preparing us for what's coming,
Right. Fine. Absolutely. You want Psalms 83? You want me to start at? Let's.
We could go into the
Yeah.
ones who came together, and then you can, call your names out.
Yeah, Khan. Let's start at should honestly start at the top. Let's start at Psalms 83 and 2. Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. And so tumult basically goes into raging against their counterparts, which is Jake, Esau raging against Jake, because they know that their time is at an end, right? They know that the clock is slowly winding down where they're going to be tossed out of rulership. And so because of that, knowing that they're going to lose their position doesn't make a noise, doesn't make a fuss, doesn't cause some kind of commotion. And so for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, they're making a commotion, right? They that hate thee have lifted up their head.
So, okay. Can you go into the word tumult in the blue letter? I have it here in the dictionary. It says tumult is a noun that means a loud, confused noise, a noisy public commotion, or a state of great mental and emotional confusion.
So just as I said, it's they're making a commotion, right? Making a fuss. Let me get it here in the blue letter. Psalm 83. Yeah, give me a second here.
Yeah, let me go down some more. It says key meanings: loud noise, a heavy racket made by an excited group or groups, disorder, a riot, uprising, chaotic public disturbance.
Right. And so you see a lot of videos coming out now where so-called white people are having black fatigue. That in itself is making a riot. I have it here in the blue letter, and the word here is hama, and it says to make a loud sound, like English hum, by implication to be in great commotion or tumult, to rage. Again, yeah, another word that I brought out, rage. War, moan, clamor, clamorous, concourse, cry aloud, be disquieted, loud, mourn, be moved, to make a noise, rage, roar, sound, be troubled, and they're definitely troubled in their spirit, making tumultuous, be in an uproar.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much backing up what I said there. Psalms 83 and 4, Salakia, and 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and have consulted against thy hidden ones, right? And so we know this goes into the conspiracy against the nation of Israel. Okay, we were hidden from the world as the apple of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's his heritage, and he has hid us in order to. There's many reasons why he's hid us, but one of the reasons that always comes to mind is that he hid us to preserve us in these last days, in these last end times. Okay, just kind of like the scriptures, if the the scriptures were written in the literal sense, you know how long Esau would have tried to destroy it and put it away. So it's pretty much the same ideology here that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai hit us in these last end days and times to preserve Yahweh, to preserve Salakia, the nation of Israel, as a people and as a movement. Okay. Do you have anything to add on to that?
No, go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And the crafty counsel is to sever our relationship from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, putting us in slavery. Things like paper genocide, what they did to the so-called American Indians, taking our heritage and assimilating it and appropriating it and making it their own. And basically what you see going on in society today, going into our communities, infusing with alcohol, drugs, the low vibrational music. All these are ploys in order to separate us from our true power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Consulted together, speaking to the conspiracy against against Zion. Conspire only means to breathe together. So all these nations have stood confederate in order to sever our ties with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai through slavery, even present day with the things that they do to us in society, denying us of our natural human rights, right? Under their so-called constitution. We know our constitution is the scriptures, the law, statutes, and commandments, right? But nevertheless, we still live in this society, and those are things that they try to do by marginalizing us and disenfranchising us. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, right, which we know to be the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites. You want to take it over here, brother, while I read?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the tabernacles of Edom.
Yeah,
and
so the Edomites, which are you so-called white people, and
Right.
like the brother said earlier, not all white people are of the Israelite flock. I mean, of the Edomite flock. There are some white people, who are actually Israelites, right?
And the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites are the Arabs. Go ahead.
Of Moab and the
Moab,
Hagarenes.
the Hagarenes are also Arabs too.
Gabal and Ammon and Amalek.
Mm-hmm. And Amalek also is of the Edomite stock too. I think that's the grandson of Esau. Yeah, so pretty much we just wanted to show you who your enemies are, right? And that is just the leading up to who your enemies are. So your enemies are the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Amalekites, the Moabites, the Ammonites. All these nations here are your enemies, right? So these so-called white ladies here, these, what appears to be an Edomite, but we don't know, this lady, what she's saying is that we are her sons should not trust anyone who looks like her. So if she's saying that, we're saying, the Bible tells us who our enemies are, which is also of her flock, and we should not trust them. Pretty much what the Bible is saying, right? Yeah. I got another video I want to play before we jump deeper into this, right? So let me jump into that video real quick.
After the person that got murdered, and forget about the thing that was so hard for so many white people to understand that it's always been the white man. It was the white man in the Atlantic slave trade. It was the white man who committed genocide to the indigenous people here. It was the white man who killed millions and millions of people in the Holocaust. It was the white man who massacred millions of people in Congo. It was the white man in the frontier wars in Australia who massacred Aboriginous Australians. It was the white man whose government forced the natives to relocate, causing thousands to die on the Trail of Tears. It was the white man in the Philippines who massacred thousands of civilians. What is so hard to accept about that? Because today, it's the white man, the white supremacist marching around D.C. It's the white man lying about a group of Haitians.
Salakia, can you hear me? Howard.
The white supremacist marching around D.C. It's the white man lying about a group of Haitians who hurt no one. They go to work and go home. It's the white man dressed in ICE outfits, murdering immigrants, murdering citizens. It's always been the white man. And yet, you think and walk around this country like it's undocumented immigrants.
Yeah, so here we have it again.
Mhm.
Another one, explaining to you people that it's always been the white man, always been the Edomite, right? If you can grab Ecclesiasticus 12 and 17 for me, Baba Kasha.
12 and 17. Okay. Ecclesiasticus 12, Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach in the Apocrypha, which is very much a part of the Holy Scriptures. 12 and 17, because it says this: if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance.
Yeah, so if adversity come upon you, best believe that he was there first. The natives, they were here in the Americas, living off the land, living peacefully, enjoying themselves.
Mhm.
Esau came along and did what? Caused chaos on those people. Look at them now. Look at the state that they're in.
Mhm.
Esau went into Africa. They cut Africa in pieces, parted the land, and gave it to whoever they want to give it to. Name it after themselves. And ever since, it's been chaos in that land. Look at what they did to Haiti. Look at what they did to Jamaica. And best believe, even though you see um, a person from that country who might be an Israelite or who might be a Hamite, whoever they be, just know that they're still controlled by these Edomites.
Mhm.
Because there's a scripture that says, not scripture, there's a saying that says, "Who give me control of a nation's finances, and I care who not makes their laws." So the people who control the money in that country is the one who makes the laws.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you see in Rwanda, the genocide that happened in Rwanda, where you have the Hutsis and the Tutsis, I don't remember their names. Who you think is behind that? An Edomite is behind that. Who you think is behind all the protests in America? George Floyd protests, Black Lives Matter. An Edomite is behind that.
Mhm.
Right? So wherever you see chaos in this society, wherever there is adversity in this society, just know that the menace to society has always been there. Esau, Edom, the so-called who? White man.
And again, let's point out that it's not all so-called white people. What we're really talking about is white supremacy and the white economic, social, political supremacist structure. Okay.
Yeah, read the last verse.
Con. Sirach 12 and 18, he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance.
Yeah, so his facial structure is going to change, right? He comes around you, he smiles, but wickedness is in his heart,
Con.
right? He laughs at you, but wickedness is in his laughs with you, but wickedness is in his heart. As soon as you make them comfortable, as soon as you start feeding them, as soon as you start giving them a little bit of housing, they come and they take your shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it time and time again,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But guess
Yep.
what? Esau has changed the narrative. He has made it look like you so-called black people, you so-called Jakes, you so-called Israelite are the problem in this society.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's a thing right now where they're saying that black people commit the most crimes in America. They changed the narrative. to
Yeah.
suit them,
Oh.
right?
Mm.
Yeah. Now we can jump into Psalms 80, Psalms 10 and 2. I could grab it.
No, I got it.
You got it. Okay.
Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Yeah. So these people have been persecuting the poor from day one. This is a beef between Esau and Jacob, right? These two were fighting from in the womb, right? This is a story about a superhero and a villain, right? This fight has been taking place forever, and Esau vowed to kill his brother, right? And Esau did kill his brother, right? Esau have killed his brother through what? Paper genocide, right? Because they have wiped us out through what? Using documentations,
Mm-hmm.
right? They destroyed the Israelites so bad that the Most High had to come back, send Ezekiel in Ezekiel 37 and 1 to come and wake us up, the dry bones. Because the Edomites, they took us out, man. Right? Verse 3.
For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai abhorreth.
Yeah, this goes for you, Edomites. For the wicked boasted in his heart's desire. Right? Look at all these Edomites. Look at the smile on their faces, even though they know that they've done wickedness. Look at Anthony Fauci's face when he was on that interview, pleading the fifth 111 times. Look at Bill Gates when he tells you he wants to go around the world and depopulate the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Look at Elon Musk's face. Do you think these people are nice people? These people are boasting in their wickedness, man. Right? Verse 4.
The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is not in all his thoughts.
Yeah, because their power, their God is money. That's all they know. Power, money. They think that gives them respect. As she said in the song, money, power, and respect is the key to life. That's how they see it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Money is their God. And their God gives them power to rule the earth. Hence the reason why the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So they have the earth right now. Why? Through money, through riches.
Mm-hmm.
And all these riches, they get it by deceit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They go around the world and they're robbing the world, stealing, killing, murdering. Because why? They were blessed with the sword as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can do it, go around and take the world, man.
Yeah, their God is gold, oil, and drugs.
Yeah.
G-O-D. That's their God.
Mm-hmm. Verse 5.
His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Yeah. He look at you, Jakes, like you're idiots, like you're dummies. Tells you if you want to hide something from a Jake, put it in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Right? His ways are always grievous. He wake up in the morning thinking about wickedness. You see, when we wake up in the morning, we think about what lesson we're going to do,
Mm-hmm.
what book we're going to read today. Who can I call to talk to about some scriptures?
Mm-hmm.
When we wake up, that's how we wake up. We wake up thinking about righteousness.
Yeah.
Esau, Edom wake up thinking about how to take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Pinky and the brain. What are you going to do tomorrow, brain?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing I do every day, brain. Try to take over the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Verse 6.
He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
And that's the pride of his heart. And the reason why he can feel this way is because of his military might,
Mm-hmm.
because of his chariots, because of all the riches that he has gotten by deceit. He feels like he can never be touched. He can never be moved. Adversity won't come upon him,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's the one who's actually bringing adversity to other nations.
Mm-hmm.
Check every nation on planet Earth. Look at Iran was living peacefully in the Middle East, under sanction for 47 years. Never touched anyone in the Middle East. Never went to war with anyone. But they're considered a terrorist, to the point where these people now brought adversity beyond those people. Why? Because of the same thing you mentioned just now. Gold, oil, and what?
And drugs.
And drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Verse 7.
Hold on. Quick precept. Obadiah 1:4. though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, which we know that the eagle's always been the symbol of Edomite nations, Nazi Germany, of course, Mount Seir, America, of course, Babylon the Great. We know the eagle has always been a representation of their pretty much their military might. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, and the stars of we Israelites, that our scripture is actually twofold. Thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So even though they've set up themselves to spoil us and to rule the world and to take over the world, we know that our recompense is coming through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And even though they have this plan of a so-called new world order, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to return and throw that monkey wrench in that plan.
Mm-hmm. Gone.
Psalms 10:7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Yeah. Because they wake up in the morning and they just, start speaking lies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Start spreading propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
When you look on the internet now, you see a bunch of, madness going on. Why you think is that? They're flooding you with information after information so you people can be confused, right? Deceit, fraud, mischief, and vanity. When you look at this man, that's how you should look at him. That's how you should know. That's how you should look at him. So you know not to trust him. Right? Verse 8.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Yeah, we don't even have to break that down anymore for you. Right? Verse 9, same thing. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. Right? So he's waiting for that time to come there and catch you people doing foolishness, man. Right? He's waiting there to catch you people slacking and lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could jump to the next. I think Habakkuk 1. You could start at verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the KJV. Start at verse 4. Actually, go to verse 4. Start at 4.
Habakkuk 1:4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
Yeah. Read it one more time.
Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth.
Yeah, so the reason why we see that, right, and we know this is true, is because Esau Edom has been living in his heaven, living deliciously, living gloriously in this kingdom. As we told you before, everything that is set up on earth, these laws that is on earth, Esau's laws, he makes these laws. So why would he persecute himself or prosecute himself for breaking his own laws? Look at the Epstein list. The Epstein class is still out there walking free, right? Nothing is being done to them. Look at P. Diddy. P. Diddy sitting behind bars right now for some minor shit that compared to what the Epsteins did.
Yeah.
Right. Look at R. Kelly. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Look. Those men are behind bars for. I'm not gonna say it's petty. You know what I'm saying? But if they did it, they did it. They're in jail. The Epstein class, they did it. We have the evidence. The proof is there. But none of them is in jail. So basically, the law is slack, right? To pretty much get justice when justice should be had.
Right? Yeah, especially in cases like R. Kelly, who was already tried for the same crimes and he was acquitted, and but yet they tried him again and again and again until it stuck, right? That's how it goes in Esau society and his rulership, right? He only allows, he only allows and endorses laws, statutes, and commandments that fit his desires, that fits his rulership, that keeps him in power. Other than that, he his mentality is to hell with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and the scriptures and the Bible. He can care less.
In the NLT, it says the law has become paralyzed and there is no justice in the courts. The wicked far outnumber the righteous, so that justice has become perverted. When you look at the prosecutor, an Edomite, the judge, an Edomite, everybody in the jury, an Edomite, come on, like all of these people have outnumbered the Israelites. So what? We ain't them to you. They don't care about you no more, bro.
Yeah, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. We're the rightful judges of the earth. So to have him up on there on the bench and telling us what is right from wrong when truth has never been in him, according to Psalms, he can care less.
Con.
He can care less. 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 He can care l It's just like, come on, you know, this whole world is out of whack. It's out of
Mhm.
sync. And it's time for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to return, because it goes anymore, it's just none can be saved. Right?
Verse 5.
Habakkuk 1 and 5. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you.
All right, go to 6.
For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs.
I'm gonna give it to you in the NLT real quick, so it's simplified. It says, "I am raising up the Babylonians, a cruel and violent people." Pause right there.
Mhm.
Look around the world. Look in the Middle East. Look at the Africa. Look at Africa. Look at the Caribbeans. Look at Europe. Everywhere you look, these people have done violence amongst the people. They have done cruelty amongst the people. They have destroyed the earth. It says they will march across the world and conquer other lands. We've seen this
Mhm.
from the Portuguese, the Dutch, the British, the French. Who else have done that?
Hmm.
Oh, if you people still don't know who the wicked is, man, you people are blind. The Bible is breaking it down for you, telling you who the wicked is. It's telling you who the menace of society is.
Mhm. Especially for those of us who live in the northern hemisphere, all you have to do is just look at the map. Look at the so-called unified states of America.
Gone.
Look at the cities and states: San Bernardino, San Diego, Santa Barbara, Mississippi, Mexico, Albuquerque. Do these sound like so-called white Anglo-Saxon names? Do these sound like Edomite words? No, these are names that they got from the other nations, right? So that lets you know that that was their land initially. They were
Mhm.
the ones who inhabited that land. And how did they remove them from that land? They took it by force. They took it by deceit. They took it by bloodshed. Right?
Go to 7.
Habakkuk 1 and 7. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves.
In the T, it says they are notorious for their cruelty. You mentioned it just now.
Mhm.
And do whatever they like. Go to verse 8.
Mhm. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fierce than the evening wolves. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat.
Yeah, so they go around the world and they destroy nations with their chariots, with their sword, with the weaponry that they have created. But these weapons they were blessed with, you know, from Yahweh Shem Yahshai, because again, they are the hammer of the earth. They have a purpose to serve. And even though we're calling out the wickedness of these people, their purpose is to be wicked, right? So even though we're blaming them for being wicked, Yahweh Shem Yahshai made them to be wicked, but that doesn't exempt them from being punished, right? They are going to be punished for the wickedness that they're doing to the people on the earth, meaning mainly the elect,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Quick precept, Proverbs 16 and 4. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Con.
Okay.
All right. I got one for you real quick. Psalms 11:5. It says, the Lord Yahweh trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. So we told you who the wicked is, and the wicked is also the violent man.
Mhm.
The Most High hate the wicked, and he hate the violent man. So if some of you Israelites are wicked and violent, the Most High hates your guts, man.
Mhm.
Mainly here, the Most High hates the wicked.
Mhm.
Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. So this is a prophecy, and these things are going to happen to you. The Most High is going to rain snares on you, fire and brimstone. These, it says here, are the portion of your cup. So this is your lot, right? So your lot is to get the missiles rain upon you, man.
Mhm. Con.
Talking to you wicked Israelites and you Edomites, man.
Con. I got a
Right?
quick precept here. Ezekiel 35 and 5. because thou hast a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Yasharallah by the force of the sword. Force of the sword, we already went through that, but the one that always comes to mind for me is the transatlantic slave trade. And matter of fact, captivity under Edomite rulership, period. Throughout the history, we've always been captives of Esau, Edom, pretty much so. And in the time of their calamity, speaking to the time of when we were coming out of when we were under captivity under Babylon, and in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And this goes into Esau has set up everything so that he can live off of the pain and violence that he has afflicted on Jake. This is how he gets his money. He loves anything, and you know that because even in world wars he plays both sides, right? So he'll fund one side, fund the other side, the opponent, and reap the benefits of whatever comes out. Whoever's the victor, he's got a hand in whatever spoils come out of that victory, right? So basically, when it says here, unto blood and blood shall pursue thee, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is saying, because you love getting your money and living off of the pain of others, your blood has to be shed. That's what's coming down the turnpike, and that's what we're seeing playing out today. So when the brother's going into you reaping the benefits of those the nuclear missiles, that is what's coming to forth. That's what's coming to pass now, right? We're in the time of the end.
Yep. Psalms 37 and 12. This is my last precepts here. Psalms 37 and 12. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord Yahweh shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Right? There's a precept that says, Esau knows that he have but a short time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, come. Revelation 12 and 10, I believe, for those scriptures there, yeah.
The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Verse 37, it says, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, to slay such as be of upright conversation. And we can see this happening right now because famine of the word is coming, right? They already start putting in a bill C9, I think that's what they call it over here, where they're stopping you from actually teaching the true words of Yahweh Shem Yahshai the highway. You can't say certain things. This is already happening in England and many places in the world, right? So this is them, right, bending their bows and their arrows, ready to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as of upright conversation, because what we're doing out there is upright conversation, right? We're out there preaching the word of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. What about that is wrong? There's nothing about that is wrong. The only way that will be wrong to you is because we're living in an upside down world, a world where sin is considered righteous and righteousness is considered wickedness. Right? It says here, verse 15, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. So the Most High is going to turn your weaponry against you. The same weapons that you are preparing to attack the Israelites with is the same weapons that you're going to be using against your own selves. Right? Yeah. So that's pretty much it for me right there. If you have something else, brother, you could bring it up.
No, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, man. Well, thank you again, peeps, for listening to this video. It's another day and another video. And with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'Hakadash.
We want to say double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, and all the teachers of Great Stone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the men who's pushing this word day in and day out throughout the four corners of the earth. To you, brothers, I say a sincere shalom. To the sisters, keep listening, keep paying attention, keep being silent in these lessons. Shalom.
Shalom to the elect.